It's August 29th, 2020. You fans have spoken. You like these old school Kayfabe style reports that I've done based upon the editorials I used to do on Pro Wrestling This Week on a weekly basis, which is why they called it Pro Wrestling This Week, of course. So I decided August 29th, 2020, there's a reason to do another one. So this is, again, in the spirit of the old Pro Wrestling This Week editorials and the spirit of the old quote-unquote Kayfabe magazines, okay? This is stuff that is strictly coming out of here. All right? Let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. This is Bill Apter reporting from Apter's Alley. So you fans were first surprised at SummerSlam that Roman Reigns made a surprise appearance. You fans and me were even more surprised, well, you fans were, to see him at the end of SmackDown with none other than Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, wasn't he gone? That's what you thought. And Roman Reigns, a big surprise. Nobody knew except Vince McMahon, who teased you won't see it coming. Well, Roman Reigns now professionally allied with none other than Paul Heyman. So how did this happen? So who investigates these kind of things? I do. I know how it happened, and I'm going to tell you about it because you're partially responsible. Yeah, you're partially responsible for Roman Reigns aligning himself with Paul Heyman. And your part of this, before I get into the real juice of it here on my notes, your part of this is, for so many years, Roman Reigns has tried to endear himself to the wrestling public, to the fans, to you. And what has he gotten 90% of the time, 99% of the time? Boo! You suck! You suck! Come on. You can only take so much pounding from the public before you just don't want to do that anymore. Your attitude changes. You're a nice guy, and you can't take all this punching from the fans. So Paul Heyman has been watching this go on for years. Now here's the tie-in. Paul Heyman could not get to Roman Reigns initially. However, you remember the days when Paul Heyman was a wrestling magazine photographer? Okay. He was friends with all the wrestlers. They all wanted to have him take pictures. He was friends with all of them. His closest friends back then were Apter and Sika, the wild Samoans. Ah, here it comes. Who is Roman Reigns' father? Correct, Sika of the wild Samoans. Well, I have found out, I have documented information here of several meetings between Paul Heyman and Sika at Sika's home in Florida. And this has been going on for quite some time. So now we have the road to Roman Reigns. At one of those meetings, it is reported by my spies that have eyes on everyone that Roman Reigns attended at least one of those meetings. So there it is. Why Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman? Roman Reigns talked to his dad about his friend Paul Heyman. They talked sense into him because, as you know, Sika was never a fan favorite. He and Apter were the Wild Samoans, a rule-breaking team. So this makes total sense. Roman Reigns meets with his dad, Apter. Paul Heyman is there. Paul Heyman says and shows what the success he has had with Brock Lesnar. It all fits into the sweet package. So the people to blame for this is the fan hatred, Sika the dad of Roman Reigns, and of course the conniving of Paul Heyman. This is it. Bill Apter. Don't forget to subscribe here on www.onewrestlingvideo.com for my old magazine, Pro Wrestling This Week style editorial. This is Bill Apter, and I'll see you at the matches eventually.